All right, everybody, welcome. If you can find a seat, we'll begin. Thank you for being punctual, and we are going to launch right into this and have some important orientation, okay? But before we do that, we certainly don't want to do anything without having the Lord's blessings upon our efforts. So let's pray and ask Him to help us understand and become excited about the opportunity to serve Him through this 315 challenge, okay? Eric Lyon, would you mind praying for us today, buddy?
Father, thank you so much for your love and for your mercy. Thank you for the opportunities to give us to be a witness for you. I want to thank you first and foremost for reaching out and saving us, pulling us out of the kingdom of darkness, getting us life in the kingdom of light. Help us, Lord, to get burdened and compassion to do the same for other people. I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, well, you've already heard about and started last Sunday evening with our Sunday school banquet about our Mission 315 and the challenge of that. And I like the idea that it's focused on our individual Sunday school classics. And we're challenging our people to help our Sunday school class grow. And so that's really what we want to just give you a brief orientation about, try to get everybody on the same page, answer any questions you might have, and certainly we want to have opportunity to break up into our departments and talk through a few more things, all right? So tonight we're just introducing the whole idea again of the Sunday school campaign, and you know, we've said this often, and it is very true of our church. Our primary place for discipleship is through Sunday school. And it's also our primary opportunity to grow our overall church. And so our church has a fantastic number of people, percentage-wise, who attend small group Sunday schools as well as the worship services. And our church is unique in that way, better than a lot of churches, because so many of our people are connected to Sunday school and the purpose of the Sunday school. But we remind you that that's our primary effort and goal for discipleship. All right, let me remind you of the critical elements in the 315 challenge, okay? And this is what I want to say right up front. You're the leaders. And without the leaders participating and leading and being passionate about this, it's not going to have the success that it could have. But if we're all participating and we're all leading, others will catch the vision of it. And we certainly want to do that, communicate that. So whether you're a care group leader or a Sunday school teacher, we want everybody to really lead out on this. And I think then we can expect a lot of other people in the group to follow. All right? So as you'll see here on this particular slide, the group leaders, Sunday school teachers, we need to, first of all, us be the ones to master the gospel presentation. All right? That's going to be one of the essential things that we lead out on. Our ability to share with confidence that we could lead someone to the Lord through a gospel presentation. All right? And the other thing is with the 3151 challenge, we start out with the three people that we personally are praying for. I already identified today in my Sunday school class the three people that are on my list. And these are the names of those people that I'm praying for, that they will perhaps come to Christ during this next month. The other thing about that is, it's out of those three people that our Sunday school class is going to build our own prayer sheet, right? Everybody in the class that submits three names, we're going to form a prayer sheet out of that for our class that's unique to that. Okay, the one on the 3151 challenge is to learn that gospel presentation from Romans 5:8. It's really a very succinct but powerful gospel presentation, isn't it? Yes. I hope you've looked that over. Certainly it's explained really well in this booklet that you received as a leader last week, also in the trifold that you had in Sunday school and passed out perhaps in Sunday school. Very easily explained there too. So let me just quickly mention about the gospel presentation from Romans 5:8. What a great verse. But God showed, proved, commended his love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And it's out of that we get those simple principles of the gospel presentation. First of all, there's only one God, one true creator God. And that starts out with the verse, but God. But it's the one God, right? And God identified that we all had one problem, one major dilemma, and that's the fact that we've all sinned. But God showed his love, commended his love toward us, and that while we were yet sinners, we're all sinners, right? And then there's one hope, and that's the hope of the gospel. Because what Jesus did on the cross, God commended his love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. And there's only one decision that people must make, right? And that one great decision is we need to challenge them and encourage them to give their life to Jesus. All right? So Bill's going to come and talk through just a couple more parts of the Mission 3151 Challenge, and he will come at this time, please.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate the silent applause. Yes. Okay. Now, the 3151 Challenge, as Brother Ray was talking about, the three is talking about the three people that we're going to pray for. And so we want to encourage our classes to be committed to praying for three people personally, but then also personally as we gather these names and put them on a prayer sheet. We're going to ask them to pray for the whole class, but especially three individuals each person. And then also we see that the gospel presentation, as Brother Ray pointed out, and then the five. And this is where it comes and helps our Sunday school classes, because we're encouraging the people in our classes to invite 5 unchurched people in our demographic for our classes, okay? And so this is one of the areas that I think that all of us are excited about, is to see the possibility of growing our individual classes through from the people in our classes inviting 5 unchurched people that fit our demographic for our classes. And then, of course, the last one, the 3151, and that is we're encouraging each one that will be committed to do this to share the gospel with one person during the course of our Sunday school emphasis. Okay, so this is the 3151 mission. Okay, now the interesting thing is, let me go over a couple of things that have already been done today. Teachers, we did this, didn't we? We had this, and hopefully you did this, but we went through, during class this morning, we went through the pamphlet that Brother Ray had right here. We went through that pamphlet, it explained a little bit about what 3151 is, and we showed them the idea of learning that gospel presentation. Okay, so we went through that today. And then also, we passed out the commitment cards. Okay, hopefully everyone did that. Now what we...
There's some there for you.
Yes, okay. This is the 3151 commitment card. Hopefully you pass those out and ask your folks to consider this week in prayer being committed to the 3151 mission. So you pass them out. You didn't receive them back today. That's what's going to come up next Sunday. But you ask them to pray about that this week, okay? And then also, hopefully we explain the prayer list for our classes. Now let me go over this with you too. Next week, as we receive those commitment cards, okay, you as teachers will keep those cards, okay? It's not that you take them up and then turn them into the office. You keep those cards because you're going to be in charge of compiling the prayer list, okay? Now, what we would like for you to do is to type up that list, okay? And then you can send, Emma, should they send it to you or someone else in the office? Okay, send it to Emma, a typed up list, because you will need that list because that's going to be your prayer list for your class, and you can hand out that prayer list the next week, giving it out to the folks in your class to be in prayer. But we're also going to use those prayer lists to make up the 24-hour prayer list coming up on November 11th and 12th. Okay? So please remember that. And then also today, we considered an attendance goal. Now, this is a goal that your class is going to make. Now, whether you, however you want to do that in your class, but the idea is coming up with an attendance goal that you will hit at least one of the 3 weeks. Wouldn't it be great to hit it all 3 weeks and explode it, go over? It's not in the past we've had the progressive goals and they get larger each week. This one is a goal, an attendance goal that we're hoping to, okay, we're moving along here. Okay, and trying to get that where we exceeded at least one of the Sundays, but hopefully all 3. Okay. You also explained the gospel presentation today. Now, that's what we did today. Now, what do we do next week? And we're going to go through the pamphlet again. We're going to receive the commitment cards next Sunday. And then we're also going to create that prayer list and then also set that attendance goal by next week after you get all the commitments in. Okay? All right. I will now turn it over to Micah that's giving me the high sign that you're done. Okay, good. I'm gone.
Don't. Just, it's fine. It's fine. First of all, this is off subject. You may have noticed if you tried to get on SundaySchoolCentral.com that we've had I was notified that the problems I tried to fix yesterday are still down. So I will be starting to work on that first thing in the morning, and we'll try to get the word out that is back up. I can't tell you what happened. I have no explanation. It's just not working right now. But I'm sure it's something that can be easily fixed, and we'll get that back up for you. Okay? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, Bill talked about our equipping phase, which is what we're in the middle of now. But I want to talk about what's going to happen starting November the 4th. That's our engaging phase. We've done all the setup by this point, and then now we're actually in the middle of the challenge, that 3151 challenge that we have asked people to commit to. November the 4th, during your class time, we're going to ask you to briefly, again, each week, you're briefly covering what the Mission 3151 is all about. Why would we do that each and every week? First of all, it emphasizes the gospel presentation as well as the Mission 3151 challenge, which are the 2 main goals that we're emphasizing through the whole time of the campaign. But if we have guests there, they may want to be informed about exactly, they see all these signs up, what's the 3151 challenge? What's that's all about? Well, that just helps them understand what all is going on. Again, this is another opportunity you have in your class to encourage participation. All right? Those commitment cards that you're going to receive the previous week, all right, that doesn't necessarily have to stop. You can constantly encourage participation throughout this engagement phase of people participating. Let me encourage you to take a testimony from a class member that's accepted the challenge, okay? Now, don't show up that morning and ask them to do it that morning. This is something you need to do ahead of time somebody that's accepted the challenge and may have a testimony of somebody that they've gotten to talk to already. Ask questions. Ask who's been able to complete maybe one of their steps. Hopefully by this time, everybody's come up with their 3 names they're praying for. So that's, by this time, everybody should have completed at least step 1. Pray daily for those 3 people on their list. Review and pray over the prayer list as a class, and then remind everybody about the 24 hours of prayer that the prayer lists are going towards. That's like, as Bill said, that all is working towards that 24 hours of prayer as well. For your November 11th class time, it's the same process as what you did on the 4th. Again, briefly reviewing the mission, encouraging participation again. You may have somebody that just signed up that week before. And so we're going to encourage people to participate in that again. Testimony, another testimony from a class member. Maybe who completed their challenge steps. Pray and review over the prayer list. And then remind, again, everyone about signing up for the 24 hours of prayer. We will still have the sign-up sheets out in the lobby that you can sign up for a time slot. We're not going to have the boxes and the little slips of paper this year because we're compiling names in a different way than we have in previous years. And then again, go over the gospel presentation. That may be, that one time you go over that in class may make the difference for somebody in your class in getting saved. So that's why we're going to constantly keep this out there and in front. During all this engagement, these are the times that you've invited, your class as a group has worked on inviting those 5 people that you've committed that are unchurched. And so you may have a new guest there. And praying over these people and encouraging and going over the gospel presentation is just another opportunity that they'll hear the gospel when they're there. And then November 18th. This is our family celebration day. We've gone back and forth on what exactly we're calling it, but it's our family celebration day. This is a day of celebration. You need to celebrate with your class everything that the Lord has done over the course of our mission and the prayers that have been answered. I've got enough faith in our God that through the course of the next several weeks, that God's going to answer some prayers. Amen. You're going to see some people that have come that we have specifically prayed for to come. We may see somebody get saved that somebody in our class has specifically prayed for to get saved and invited to come to their class. Again, the engagement phase is all about engaging our class, engaging our folks and the people in our class to invite those people with those invite cards. All right? By this time, you've received these in your class. And you've written your name and your class group on the back of that. So you can personally invite somebody to your class. All right? Now, the last thing that we're going to be doing to encourage you and get some more people out for Grow is we are actually going to be having meals for our Grow times on the 29th, October 29th, November the 4th, and November the 12th. Okay? So you will have signups in your class. We'll need to get a count from your teachers on who is coming for the Grow time that week, that Monday night, so we can make sure we have food. Now, I know the first night we're doing Chick-fil-A. Okay, so the 29th. And then we're doing, what's the next one? Have we nailed that down yet?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, Chick-fil-A, that's all we got to be worried about right now, all right? On the 29th. So encourage your class to participate and come out for Grow. All right? At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Emma.
Okay, the microphone is my fault tonight because my voice is going out. But we, with the campaign, we've been talking a lot about the adult classes, and the campaign's not just for our adults, it's also for our kids. But we have kind of not rebranded it, but we've done a couple of things different in our equipping and in our engagement phase for the kids. Excuse me. Our 3151 challenge, we're still praying for 3 lost friends, but instead of learning a gospel presentation, we want to make this age appropriate. We want them to memorize Romans 5:8, and they will be able to share that with a friend as well. And then they're also going to invite 5 friends to their Sunday school class. And the last thing is, instead of sharing a gospel presentation, they still are sharing a gospel presentation, but it's not memorized. We're going to give them tracts. We're going to walk every child through in Sunday school classes. And elementary teachers will go over that in our meeting next, how we're going to do that. But we've got different posters, we've got different invite cards, just trying to make it a little more kid-friendly as well. So sorry. What you can do each week, all teachers, this is everybody from preschool all the way up to our senior adults, there are some things you can do every week to help us in the office. We've got the weekly class snapshot, which is going to be your 10:15 update card. This is where you'll put your attendance. This is where you'll put any latecomers, but this is also going to show us down at the bottom. As you're talking, you're going to find out from the people in your class the number of lost people prayed for, the number of group members who have learned a gospel presentation, number of unchurched people invited to attend your group, and the number of people who gave the gospel that week. Every week you'll have commitment cards and pamphlets on hand. If you are out of them or you need more, just contact us. We'll do our best to always keep them stocked, but if for some reason we miss you guys, let us know. And like Micah was saying, ask your class members to either call or text you throughout the week with any of their testimonies, maybe something that they can share on Sunday, and share your own experiences. In the group leaders guide, one of the things it talked about was how people can catch a fire by the leader. So if we're not excited, we can't expect our groups to be excited. And then lastly, every class will have a class poster that you can, every week we'll fill out, so it's just a visual reminder of how many people have committed to the 3151 Challenge.
Hey, thank y'all. All right, I'm actually going to talk to you guys about how our bus ministry and our children's ministry can really play a huge role in this campaign. Right now, our bus ministry is bringing in over 50 people right now, whether it be children or adults. And those 50 people, whether it be kids or adults, have parents, have family members, have so many people that don't come to church. And those are people that will fit your classes perfectly. So every year when we do this campaign, we encourage you to look at your prospect list. We still want you to do that. But sometimes you've worn that prospect list out and you need to find some new people. Well, we have that right here in this ministry in our church. We have a huge opportunity to minister to those kids' families. And that's what we want to do. That's our goal of the bus ministry, is to get the families into the church. So let me encourage you, when you're thinking through your 5 people to invite for this campaign, that you will really just think about maybe one of our bus kids. How can I make a difference in their life and get their family in this church as well? The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is our bus ministry. We have some exciting things going on for buses during this campaign. We have 3 major promotions. The first one, which is the first Sunday, is Blast Off Sunday. We're going to take the kids out and we're going to blast some rockets. We're going to do some explosions. I love it. The next week, we're going to do Galaxy Sunday. We're going to make some slime. I honestly don't like slime, but we're going to do it. And then the last week, in lieu of Family Day celebration, we take our bus kids to McDonald's. We don't keep them here for the actual meal. We take them to McDonald's because to them, that's more fun than sitting around eating some turkey with a bunch of people. So we go to McDonald's. Those are our bus promotions. So when you guys are out making visits to any of our bus kids or any of our bus families, that's a great way to encourage the whole family to come to church. This is what we're doing. This is what your kids get to take part in. The last thing before I hand it over to Andy is Trunk or Treat. Trunk or Treat is a huge opportunity to also build prospects for your class. That is on October 31st this year. On Halloween night, it's an open thing to the whole community. There's going to be tons of men, women, boys, and girls there that are going to be exposed to the gospel. And it is a huge opportunity for you guys to take part and get out there and engage with them and get them into our church. So at this time, I'm going to ask Andy to come up here and finish this off.
Just real quick, I want to go over these things that we have. In Matthew 4:19 says, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men." We want to equip you and give you resources to make you fishers of men. And Brother Ray can tell us how to be a fisherman, but you got to put a hook in the water. Otherwise, you're, I don't know, you're a spokesperson for Bass Pro or something like that. Like Nolan said, we do have our Trunk or Treat coming up on October 31st. It's a church-wide thing. We are all going to get involved in this. And I was telling our teens this morning, this is an opportunity, and the reason that we do this is to get people the gospel that normally wouldn't walk through the doors of our church, but give them an opportunity to hear the gospel. We did this about 5 years ago, I think it was, and we saw people come to Christ that never came to our church. It's a great opportunity to get the gospel into the hands of people that need it. One other way that we're going to do that this year is Veterans Day. We have these invite cards. They're on the front table in the lobby, so make sure that you grab some of these on your way out. Give these to a veteran of any age. Doesn't matter how old they are, they're still a veteran. And we want to make sure that we honor them. On the invite, it says a special gift for each veteran in our service. Each veteran that comes, they're going to get this pen that says veteran on it, and it says proudly served. There it is. Proudly served. It's going to be attached to a card that we're going to ask them to fill out. It's just their name, address, phone number, just a way for us to send them a gift. I believe we're going to send them a gift card. We want to honor these men and women that have sacrificed a lot for us. And this is just one more way to get somebody through the doors of our church. And then the last way that we're going to try and do this is on Family Day. We have Sold Out with us, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I believe the choir is going to be singing with Sold Out this year. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a great day of celebration. And it's another way that you can just encourage somebody to come to church with you. But if you're not excited about it, they're not going to get excited about it. If you say, hey, come to church, we're going to have some turkey, and somebody's going to be singing. No, you need to know their name. It's Sold Out. And if you've been here and you've listened to them sing, you need to tell them how fantastic it is. The whole reason that we're doing that is to get people in the doors of our church, let them sit down in peace and quiet, and come under the teaching and the preaching of the Word of God. It's the Word of God that changes people's lives. And we're just trying to give them more opportunities, hooks in the water, to give them an opportunity to hear the gospel. So, Brother Ray, you can close this out.
All right, well, everything rises and falls on leadership, so we know that this is the group that can make this happen. We're excited that God is going to use us. And you can see a big component of this is prayer. And it's God that's going to give the increase. But it is a great opportunity for all of us to mobilize our own classes to help our individual classes grow. And as a result, of course, our church is going to be impacted in a positive way too. But what we really want to see come out of all of this is people who are equipped better to serve the Lord, people who could master a gospel presentation to the point where they would feel comfortable sharing their faith and winning people. And we want to see God bringing some people into salvation through the gospel being shared.